time to get this show started. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
My brother used to work at Burger King. He worked at a lot of restaurants, but
That was my first job at Burger King.
Burger King.
I quit after 3 fucking days.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I couldn't. It wasn't for me.
It wasn't. Yeah,
No.
I didn't think it would be for him, but he enjoyed it up to a point. And then like I think he got tired of coming home smelling like food and all that shit.
That's the other thing. My brother used to work at Wendy's. That was his first job. And dude, he always came home smelling like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Now sometimes he brought the chicken nuggets back, and I
Yeah.
can understand, but I mean, if you're coming back empty-handed,
It's like, what, you got him in your pants or something?
yeah, like, bro, I smell the chicken nuggets. He's like, nah, man, it's a grease.
It's crazy. But I can only imagine like working in a restaurant and having to do all of that and all the shit that she had to remember. I mean, that shit hard. It's hard work. Yeah.
Like, you know, me thinking about working at a restaurant, I've thought about it many times over the years, just going to the restaurant and going through my dining experience. But
Mhm.
some of these menus are complicated.
They are.
And
They are.
you got to remember what the actual entrees are, you know, what the sides are, the side
Mhm.
options, what comes with what you can substitute and whatnot. I couldn't do it. I don't have the mind for it. So I do understand when waiters, you know, do complain about bad tips. I
Oh,
get
yeah.
it. They do have
yeah.
a lot on their plate, so to speak.
And
And
then remembering all your tables, their drinks, and what they
Mhm.
had, like, yeah, that shit's a lot. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
yep. But, you know, when I go to a restaurant, I do expect some level of service.
Oh yeah.
And I think what we're going to get into is, you know, the tipping culture, and a lot of what I'm seeing on social media is people that work in that industry and kind of complaining about how people tip poorly.
Oh yeah.
And I do get it. Since I moved to South Carolina, one thing I've realized is tipping culture here is a little bit different than Florida.
Hmm.
A lot of people here will go to a, you know, restaurant on a Friday night, and you know you got 4 or 5 people on a table, and they'll leave like a $2 or $3 tip. You know, and that's not enough.
Nah, that's crazy.
You know, what's interesting is I remember being at a restaurant, and you know, with a certain family, and you know, their thing was they always left a $2 or $3 tip, and this particular night, you know, I wanted to get the tip, and I was like, you know, I got it, don't worry about it, and I threw down a $5 bill, thinking nothing of it, and one of the members of this party said, no, what you doing with that $5 bill? This isn't Olive Garden. I was like, wow.
Hey, Olive Garden is a next level.
Yeah.
You know, they get the $5.
That's right.
They
That's
get
right.
the $5.
No, I mean, Olive Garden, you know, if you're sitting at Olive Garden, you know, you got a party of like 4 or 5,
Hmm.
that tip should be at least $15.
At least.
Maybe 20 or more. You know, and
My whole thing is, I feel like if you can't tip,
don't go to the restaurant.
don't go out to a restaurant, because it's not something like, oh, I don't have to tip if I don't want to, but those people are still working, preparing, filling your drinks and shit like that, man. And especially if they being nice.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
And that's where like the
tip
level of
these
service,
people.
you know, there should be a minimum. Part of the argument it is that I've seen online is that, okay, if you're at a restaurant, you should tip no less than 20% regardless. Now, I'm going to disagree with that a little bit, because if you're not getting any kind of service, my
I
tip
get
is
that.
going to reflect that.
I get that.
You know?
And that should be fair.
20% minimum when they seat you, they ask you what you need, they check up on you, they fill your drink
Yes.
up. You know, that's a standard for me.
Yeah.
If you're going to expect a 20% standard tip, I'm expecting that when my cup is, you know, 1/4 full, come around and fill it up for me. You know, or bring me another cup. That's my favorite thing. When they bring me a cup,
Yeah.
I don't even have to ask. They don't take the cup away. They just have a new one, and I just transfer over my straw. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking 25%. now.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, even if I can see that you're having a bad day,
Mhm.
but you are trying to push through it, I'm still gonna show you some love.
Absolutely.
You know, just cause you could have called out, and it could have been motherfuckers running around here, and I didn't get shit all day. You know,
Exactly.
so
Like if you're the only one in a restaurant working, because somebody called out, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the customer is going to notice that, and they're going to take care of you.
Oh,
They're going to
yeah.
be patient with you too. I've ran into that many times where the waitress or waiter is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's just me. I'm doing the best I can." They're putting it out there,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. I
Yes.
appreciate the transparency, and as long as you're doing everything you can, I'm gonna do everything I can to take care of you too.
Exactly.
But that's not always the case. I've been to restaurants where they're fully staffed and people are standing around.
Yeah.
And
On their phones,
exactly. And
doing TikToks.
I got one example. Yes, exactly. Catching Pokemon for Pokemon Go.
Man, don't let me get started about that.
But I do have one experience that I do want to talk about. Probably one of the worst experiences I've had. It was at a pizza restaurant, and what I noticed was not a whole lot of customers in the building, but I noticed there were several team members there, waiters, waitresses, and they were just standing around talking amongst each other, not really attentive to anybody. They sit them down, get your drink order, and it was a pizza buffet, so it's pretty much self-service
Oh, yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part. Um, but my drink went empty, and it sat empty the entire time that I was at the restaurant.
Oh, damn.
And I actually had to walk up to the soda machine and fill it up myself. And they had plenty of opportunity, plenty of time. It's not like the business was on fire and they're running
Yeah.
around, unable to get to everybody and do what they got to do. And my wife at that time, she was there with me too, and we were both talking about it. How they're probably not going to get a tip, and that was kind of my mindset too. Is okay, well, if I'm absolutely getting no service when you absolutely can do something, yeah, I'm not really going to tip you for just sitting me
Nah.
down at my table and getting me a round of drinks. So that particular time, I've only done this once in my life, but I just wanted to give.
What
my
am I
2
going
cents.
about to hear?
Yeah, I just wanted to.
I
wanted
only
to give
did
my
this
2
once.
cents.
Nothing good comes after. I only did this once.
Yep. Could have been worse. I could have said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, yeah.
But-
Facts.
So I was just completely blown away by the lack of service, and I just wanted to leave something to express my dissatisfaction. So I left literally my 2 cents on the table. I put 2 pennies down.
I swear to God, I wish I just would have been a fly on the table just to see you just lay them 2 cents down, man. I would have flew off and giggled my ass off.
And honestly, I've seen people leave bad tips, and they want to do it when the waitress or waiter's not around, so they can sneak out. They don't want to be seen. There's a difference between being seen leaving a bad tip
Yeah,
and leaving a bad tip behind for somebody to find, right?
yeah.
But in this particular instance with the 2 pennies, the waiters and waitresses, they weren't even paying attention, so they didn't even hear it when I dropped those 2 coins on the table.
Damn.
There was no shame in my game at that point.
I bet they was like, oh, that's not the tip. That's what they probably had going on in their head. They probably heard it, but they was like, man, that's not the tip.
Nah, they were too busy doing their own thing.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure when they got to the table, and the other thing too, that when you're at a pizza buffet or any kind of buffet in particular, one of the things that typically happens is they come around and they gather your plates, because you can't bring the same plate back up to the buffet.
Yeah.
They don't want you to cross-contaminate and all that stuff.
And I get it.
And look, I can put down some pizza, especially when they're like really small slices. So by the time we left, I probably had about like 6 or 7 plates on my table on my side. She probably had 2 or 3 on her side, and it's in the way.
Yeah.
So that's part of the service that you get at a buffet type restaurant. Is
yeah.
they come and pick up the plates and they check in, see how you're doing, if they can get you anything. Some of these places, this place in particular, will typically ask us any particular pizza you want for them to put on the oven, and they'll bring us slices before it hits the buffet. That didn't happen either. So definitely a different waitress and waiter working that day than who we were used to, which was excellent, by the way. The typical person that would take care of us. But yeah, I was so like dumbfounded by the lack of service. I'm like, you know what? No tip is deserved in my opinion, but just gonna leave those 2 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So if service is bad, I'm fine leaving a few bucks or under 20%. I might leave 10%. I've never not left a tip at all.
I have.
Have you?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I won't leave shit.
Okay.
It's look, man. Like I have gray area, but my gray area is still high standard, and it's almost like, hey, if you can't even meet that, then I ain't giving you nothing.
Yeah.
I get it. Motherfuckers don't want to do certain jobs, and you might don't want to do this job, but this is what you got to do.
And that's the thing too. Like if you don't like the job that you're doing
Quit.
and it's going to show, you just go work somewhere
Just
else.
quit.
And don't get mad when somebody doesn't tip you because you
Yeah.
didn't provide a service.
Yeah, exactly. Like these same motherfuckers that's on YouTube that y'all see that y'all think like, oh, they just having fun. Motherfucker, it's work behind it. Let me tell you that. We are both streamers. It takes work. Like, motherfuckers just not just toss on the camera and just having a good time. It is a formula. It is a process to all of that shit. And motherfuckers think that, that you can just get money and just not do nothing. No, you got to put some sort of effort into it.
Yeah.
And that
tip
goes
is the
anyway.
return on their investment.
Yeah.
And you got to invest in your customers. I've been to several restaurants here throughout South Carolina. At one point, a Mexican restaurant that I'd go to pretty much every Friday night. And the service was fantastic. Once you go to a place over and over again, they start picking up on your orders and your drinks. And, when I get to a restaurant and right after we sit down, they hadn't even taken our order yet, but they bring us our drinks because they know what we have.
So let me tell you
That's
how
where
that
you're
used to
getting a
be. Yeah. When we lived in Charleston, when I was working at Jimmy Jazz, Mellow Mushroom was like that.
Mellow Mushroom, dude, that place is awesome.
Yeah. And we would go there we made like a thing of it. We went every Wednesday or Friday night. And we would come and sit at the bar, and it was one dude that was always up there. He knew our names.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was like, I already know what you want to drink. He would sit it down. He'll ask us, he's like, hey, unless y'all want something new, I'm just gonna put in the regular. That's what he was like, man, just put in the regular. And like I'm not gonna not give him a tip.
Of course, yeah.
And then I remember one time I gave him like a $60 tip. He was like, are you serious? I was like, bro, let me tell you this. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because like, not saying that my wife is difficult, but
You're not difficult.
you're not difficult. It's just, when she goes out to restaurant, she expects a caliber because she's a waitress.
Yeah.
And like, I can't not, argue with her because that's her lane.
Mm-hmm.
So like when she's happy and I'm like, oh yeah, you good, broski.
Yeah.
Like you didn't did the thing. Appreciate you. I ain't got to hear about no bullshit,
It's like you and me, customer service people.
Mhm.
You go into a business when you're used to delivering a certain standard of customer service. When
Exactly.
you're about to go spend money somewhere, you know what it looks like.
You
and
know
that's
what it
you're
look like.
expecting.
So I looked out for him for that. I was like, man, you have no idea. And like, I think the meal, it wasn't even that much, but like, just how he was just, operating and taking care of us. And like, he had the bar, like it was just him. And like, he doing it.
He's everywhere.
He everywhere.
And that's where, like, if you're going to ask for a minimum of 20%, that's where that minimum standard. If you have regulars, that's what they're looking for.
Yes.
That's the environment and the experience that you should be creating for your guests if you're going to demand 20%.
Yeah.
Or higher.
Or even if we would come in, he just gave me the.
Yeah.
You get
He
to
may
me
not
later.
be-
I say you busy.
He may not even be seating you
Yeah.
this day. Somebody else might be handling you. But if he sees you in that building, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. And I'm gonna
So,
tell you,
Raph-
make sure he get that.
And you know what? Some of the best restaurants that I've gone to on a regular basis, that's the experience that I see.
Mhm.
Because you're not always going to get the same waiter or waitress.
Nah.
You get whoever you get, but the good ones are going to come over and say hi to you anyway. Even though they're not working with you.
Most definitely. And that's the part of networking and doing your job. Like once you start getting locked in like that, then you start printing money.
Mhm.
Like at that point, you're like, oh, I know these people coming this day. I'm gonna make sure. Then you like, man, I'm gonna make sure I'm in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to prepare yourself the way you're supposed to be, man. But
A neighbor of mine, he actually owns a restaurant, a couple of restaurants actually, a Greek guy. And once we found out where his restaurant was, we started going there and became regulars. And he's a really nice guy. He'd hook us up with extra food and stuff, which was not necessary, but very much appreciated. But what was interesting too is, as we went there more and more often, we really fell in love with the different waiters that he had working there. They're funny. They knew you by name. This one guy would always crack jokes with us and kind of hang out a little bit. He had other people in the restaurant too, but he would always make time for us. And that kind of stuff really stands out to me when it's not just a sit down, eat and go. It's an experience, and we'd always hook him up with a nice tip.
oh yeah, Oh yeah.
You know, one of the best tips I've done in my life was actually on accident. Well,
Damn.
good customer service led to it, but
Yeah.
we were in Orlando, me and my girlfriend, and we were coming back from Disney, going back to stay with my sister, and we were hungry. It was like, I don't know, 9:30 or something like that. We weren't sure what was going to even be open. So we just got on Google and we found that there was an Olive Garden on the way right off I-4. And we stopped in there. They were going to be open for like another hour or so. We're sitting here thinking, okay, well, it's probably going to be bad service because they're probably wanting to get out of there. You know how it is, you go in like
Oh,
the
yeah.
last hour of business.
Oh yeah.
So I had a very low expectation as experience. I'm like, I just want to get some good food in me, get back, go to sleep. And the second we walked in, you know, the hostess was very friendly, smiling faces and stuff like that. They took our name, got us seated pretty much immediately. Then the waiter came up, again, smiling faces, very friendly. And I was kind of blown away. I'm like, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to look at us like, really? You guys are here? You know,
Yeah.
you see a lot of tourists in Florida, especially Orlando for the Disney parks, and I'm sure you get all types of people, you know, just wanting to get in there, do their thing. They're tired, they're stressed from the parks, and they're treating the waiting staff like jerks.
Yes.
So I can understand where like the waiting staff might not be the most friendly, but very attentive with the orders, checking up on us, filling the drinks up. Man, my drink didn't get below halfway. You know, I put
Yeah.
down some soda. I'm always
Yeah.
on that. And just all out great experience. Completely blew away my greatest expectation I could have for it. So when the you know the waiter came and gave us the bill, it was like maybe $40 or something like that. And anytime I'm in Florida, you know, going to Disney parks and stuff, I always bring cash with me. So I just put down $100 bill and I said to the guy, I'm like, hey, no change, appreciate it. And the guy was like, are you serious? He's a young guy too. He might have been like 20 at best. And I mean, dude, I thought he was about to cry a little bit.
But when you get what they have to do with it,
Yeah.
it's like I'm actually going to see some money go home with me today.
Exactly.
You know? So I get it. I fucking get it.
And look, he might have had a couple $2 tips.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's a norm for him, maybe $5, but he ended up leaving with like $60 in a tip. And I even asked him, well, hey man, like, is there any kind of survey I
gas
can
money
do?
to get home? It could have been.
Dude, that's gas money for the week.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that motherfucker probably was on his last.
But you know, the customer service was the best I think I've ever had.
Yep.
And you know, that's where like with tipping culture now, like a lot of people are on social media demanding that you pay no less. It's like if you can't pay this much, don't even go to the restaurant. Well, you know, your level of service that you provide again is what
Exactly.
people are tipping for.
Exactly.
You know, if you're not nice, if you're not friendly, if you don't follow up, you know, if you don't even refill my drink or even offer, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not really looking to give you 20%. You know, you're getting paid for the investment, you know, that you put into your tables and your customers.
Oh well, of course. And all those people, the waiters and waitresses that are doing that, you know, and know that you're doing that, you know, don't switch up just because that one motherfucker didn't recognize it. You know, that motherfucker just need to stay his ass at the house or her ass at the house with the rest of the broke motherfuckers that don't want a goddamn tip. So I used to hang out with a guy named we used to call him Smurf. Smurf. And he was a twin, and him and his brother always got into it about the silliest shit. But this particular time we was out and we were at Texas Roadhouse.
I love Texas
Yeah,
Roadhouse.
they love Texas Roadhouse. And we went there, and Smurf was the type of guy that he just liked to flex all the damn time. Yeah, he liked to flex all the goddamn time.
He was dropping bills.
Yeah, he do that. I'll pay for you. You know, he just do that shit. And like he got this thing like when he tipped, especially when he get a good service. He said, man, I feel like I'm gonna bless somebody today. He's like, pick a number through 1 to 10, and like they'll pick a number and he'll always add a 0 to it. So they picked 1. He'll leave a $10 tip.
Okay.
And this one girl's like, she was smart. She's like 10.
10.
And he just looked at me. I said, there you go, big boy.
That's a big blessing right there.
I said, there you go. And then he pulled it out. He pulled it out later. She was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, he's serious. He do that shit. I was like, you just lucky because nobody hardly ever picks 10.
Yeah.
Like they usually, I think 5. Like, I don't know what they thinking, but you was thinking the right way.
He sure
You got
was.
you got that nice hundo.
So he probably didn't give out that option for like the next 9 nights.
Oh no, Smurf do that all the time.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he just like that. He was just that type of person. He was. I mean, hella, respectful, nice. That's just who he was.
So Rafael, on $100 bill, what do you think is the most appropriate tip for great customer service?
On a $100 tab.
Yeah.
Okay, on this $100 tab, how many people are here?
Let's say 3.
3. Oh, they $100 tab. They got to at least get a 30 piece.
That's what I'm thinking.
They got to at least get a 30 piece. Like that's. I feel like $100 worth of shit with drinks and stuff included. That means you're constantly refilling my drinks.
Yep.
Especially if you're telling me it's good customer service. That means you're constantly refilling my drinks. That means like if I had any additional drinks like a soda or anything, you're keeping those full.
Yep.
Like the meals was good. All 3 of us are cool.
All the chips on the table.
You see what I'm saying?
The chips.
Yeah.
Or the bread. Like, look, if we're at like Logan's Roadhouse or Texas Roadhouse and you keep bringing bread, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
So it's just stuff like that. And I'm gonna be totally honest, you ain't gotta be over friendly. Cause I think the over friendly ones, they scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they get ready to do something crazy. Like, especially when I go like to Chick-fil-A and look, Chick-fil-A, y'all got great customer service,
Absolutely.
but some of y'all motherfuckers scare me. Y'all are way too happy too early in the morning. And like it scares the fuck out of me sometimes. And like the last time I went, this chick was at the window and like she scared the fuck out of me because she popped out like fucking like Jack in the Box. She's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh fuck."
Shit.
I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, but like you don't even got to be like all of that. As long as you like attentive and you taking care of shit, you ain't got to say much to me. I'm cool with it. You'll get that tip. Like. Yeah. It's just how it's all how you handle business.
To your point, if somebody's over friendly, especially like the waiter, like, "Oh, how's that food?
Yeah,
you enjoying that food? Is it delicious?"
Yeah, that's
okay. I'm sitting here thinking, "What'd you put in it?" They're watching you take a bite.
Yeah,
they're smiling like,
yeah. I don't want none of that secret sauce.
And the other thing too is I'm always nice, even if the service isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
When they come to my table. Hey, thank you. I'm not trying to come off like upset with their service.
Man, after I get my
afraid
food,
they're gonna spit in my
that's
food.
what I'm saying. After I get my food, it's no holds barred.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
Once they played it.
Yeah, man. I feel you on that. I don't want nobody fucking with my food.
Yeah. Like I'm already trying to get my order in quick. Like I don't want them to come back to the table 3 times and I'm still on a menu, and they're like, "Damn, these people like, can't they make up their fucking mind?"
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's you get your food fucked with that.
I feel like sometimes when I have a complicated order, like they get mad.
I always keep our order simple for that very reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to get mad and fuck it up or get mad and do something to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I'm okay with that. Like I know some people that'd be like, "Man, I want my fucking food. I don't care. They gonna do it right." Well,
Well,
they'll do it right, all right.
Get the extra ingredients.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Like when I'm at Chick-fil-A, I order a spicy deluxe. And they're already asking me like what kind of drink I want. And I'm like, well, hold on. I want it with American cheese.
Yeah.
No tomatoes, no pickles. Like, okay. Sometimes I wonder if like I'm being too needy, but I mean that's the way I like it.
Yeah, I mean I'm simple because I don't want them fucking it up and forgetting shit. I want some nuggets and some fries and get the 6 count or the 12 count, 8 count or the 12 count, and I'm out your way. Yeah. Like and at that point, if you fuck that shit up, then I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A rarely messes anything up.
No, they rarely mess it up.
But going back to like my complicated order is, I also go back and I'm like, well, I want a large Coke, not a standard, and I want it with a little bit of ice. And then they always ask me, "Do you want a large fries?" No, just medium fries. So I feel like I have to apologize. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have the most complicated order." They're like, "Oh no, you're good, you're good." I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah, please don't spit my food.
No.
Please.
Chick-fil-A though, this is back when I worked at the Haywood Mall. I used to eat Chick-fil-A in there all the time, and
Oh yeah, because you was at the what was that store? The
Brookstone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was at Brookstone. And
keep forgetting that was in that store.
Chick-fil-A, like, they rarely mess up. This is how this story I'm about to tell you, it probably wasn't a mistake. They trolled me pretty good, and I liked it. So I go to the Chick-fil-A all the time, and the people there pretty much knew me by name. Again, my choice was usually a spicy deluxe, and I'd always order with the American cheese. But this one particular time, the cashier said to me, "What kind of cheese do you want?" I'm sitting here thinking, okay.
Fucked y'all up.
Well, I said to the cashier, "Surprise me." Right? Thinking, okay, maybe I'll get something besides American cheese today. And the cashier like grinned a little bit, like, "Say no more, I got you." And then thinking nothing of it, I always eat my fries first. So the first thing I do, I pull, well, it's at the food court, so it's a tray, but I eat my fries, and then I eat my burger or my sandwich. I'm weird, I know. Yeah. So my
Damn,
routine is
serial killer. What do you got going?
yeah. So hear me out, right?
The fuck?
There is Chick-fil-A sauce. There's no Chick-fil-A sauce. Yeah, there is Chick-fil-A sauce. So I eat my fries with my Chick-fil-A sauce. I have to have 2 or 3 of these dips too, because I eat the shit out of that Chick-fil-A sauce. And so after I'm done eating my fries, I go and I open my little carton from the sandwich, and I take a bite out of it. I'm like, something doesn't taste right. And I flip the lid open on that bun, and I'm like, damn, there's no cheese. And you know what? I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one. You should have went and shook that dude.
Man, like I was so surprised by that, and I was not disappointed. Like, I took a picture of it, I put it on my Facebook, and I was like, you know what? I explained the story. I went to Chick-fil-A today. They asked me what kind of cheese I want. I was like, surprise me. And then, like, look, there's no cheese in it.
And he was happy about it. He said, I got you.
I love cheese, but I wasn't disappointed having no cheese that day. I was like, you know what? This made my day. If I can go back and tip them, I would.
Yeah. See, and and you got to be careful. You got to read the room. You got to read the room when you do stuff like that, because that can backfire.
Yeah.
That can backfire. But when you think you can, I mean, take that chance. You might get a tip out of it.
Sure.
Might brighten somebody's day.
Now, what if it was a mistake and they just forgot to add the cheese? That could be. But I'm pretty sure. I looked at the receipt. I checked the receipt, and it didn't have anything listed about cheese on there. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I was satisfied.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up.
I mean, that's a Happy Meal. Like, I don't know about McDonald's, but like when I opened that, I was smiling so much, man. I was happy.